Here, now cell. What do you mean by cell? Cell is the smallest unit of every living thing. Every living thing, that is all plants, all animals, all bacteria, viruses, when they are living, algae, or whatever microorganisms you have seen, all those microorganisms, uh, bigger multicellular microorganisms, that is the higher microorganisms, not microorganisms, higher organisms, plants, animals, all these are made up of small units. Those small things are called as cell. Okay, first listen and then you can write it down again. Fine. So every substance, every living thing, just like all non-living things are made up of atoms, right? All living and non-living, everything, every type of a matter, living things also. These cells are also. So every substance is made up of very small, tiny particles. We call them as atoms. And similarly, the every living things are made up of smaller units called as cells. So cells are actually the full body is made from the cell. Just like the house is made from the full wall, a big wall is made up of bricks. So the similar to bricks, the building block of the wall is the brick. So many bricks combined together, they form the wall. When many walls combine together, it will give a shape of the house. Many house combined, if they are present in a one single building, then that is we call as apartments building. Many, that's a residential area. Many buildings combined together, we call it as a residential area. The similar way in our body also the similar structure is present. So all the cells, different types of cells are present in our body. So many cells combine together to form the different structure that we call as tissues. So many tissues combine together and they will form organs. We know in our body there are many organs are present. Lungs, heart, then vessels, digestive tract or small intestine, large intestine. So many, these are all organs, kidney, organs are present. So these organs are actually made up of the smaller particles, smaller things that we call as tissues. So tissues are again made up of small things, very small things that we call as cells. So you can see the structure of the cell, one thin slice of the onion. If we see under a microscope, we can see the structure like this. You can see this part, this compartment, these compartments, this rectangular portion. Inside that, whatever it is present, that we call as cell. When you take a onion peel, the small onion peel, if you take very thin slice of that, means take out the onion, and then from that with the help of prong we have to take it one thin sheet of it. This one thin slice you can get it, full slice is not needed, one thin sheet is there. That sheet, white sheet, if you remove and place it on the slide, and if you see under a microscope you can see this structure. When you see under microscope you can see these compartments. So these different rectangular compartments are called as cells. So you can see here many cells you can see. These are all many cells. This one part is one cell. So this one part is a one cell. This is different cell. This is next cell. So these are rectangular cuboidal shaped cells are present. This is another cell. So these are all cells. First, second, third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are all cells. So cell means compartment. Actually, what do you mean by cell? Cell means actually compartment, division. Okay. So this is who has discovered, who has given this name. That is Robert Hooke was the first scientist who has discovered these cells. He has first seen the cork cell. Cork cell was a dead cell which is used to as a stopper, bottle stopper. To this one in a chemistry lab, if you have seen, the bottles are closed by one wooden substance. So that wooden substance we call as cork. Okay, that rubber cork. So that rubber cork he has taken and seen inside. He has prepared first the microscope, one simple microscope he has prepared. And under the microscope, he has discovered this honeycomb-like structure. So it is similar to compartment. So therefore, he has given the name to them as cell. Clear? So cell forms the full living system. The basic structure of the cell, basic structural and functions. So all the functions of the body is actually performed by different cells. And the full structure, the body is completely made up of small units called cells. So therefore, cell is a basic structural and functional unit of living organism. So this will come under the cell theory. Every new cell is formed from the pre-existing cell, just like the new human being is formed from the older human beings. The parents, from the parents, the offspring will give rise to it from the parents. New plant will form from the seed of the earlier plant. One of the plants is seed will give rise to the new plant, or one plants is any part. If you take a stem or if you take a root of the one plant, from that the new plant is originated. New plant will be produced, reproduced. So that means that is the upper part we are taking, but the smaller cells also, every cell is actually made from the older cells, pre-existing. That means they are existing earlier. From those existed cells, the new cells are always formed. This will come under the cell theory. Cell theory has given by different scientists. Many scientists will come one by one after Robert Hooke, and they have determined, they have discovered many things. So out of that, one of the thing is Sheldon and Shawn has given the cell theory. Sheldon and Shawn was the two scientists. They have discovered, they have given the theory behind these cells. So they have told that is new cells will form. They cannot be created. The cells are not created by our own. They can be produced or arise from the original older cells or pre-existing cells. So to form the new cell, the original cell is needed. One cell is needed, then only the new cell will be formed. Without that, we cannot form any new cell. Clear? And all organisms are composed one or more cells. So these will come under the cell theory. So these are the 2 points of cell theory, which is given by Sheldon and Shawn. Clear? Are you able to understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then discovery. So whoever has discovered the cells. Robert Hooke was the first scientist to discover existence of cells with the help of microscope in 1965. The cell discovery starts in 1965. Robert Hooke prepared one microscope, simple microscope he has prepared, and through that he has first seen the rubber cork cells, a thin slice of rubber cork he has seen. He has seen the honeycomb-like structure, and he has given the name as cell to them. After that, the new scientist came, another scientist came, that is Leeuwenhoek. So Robert Hooke has discovered the dead cell. The rubber cork was a dead cell. Then the next scientist come, and then he started discovering the cell. In that he has again prepared the one more stronger microscope, which gives a more rectification, magnification. He has prepared the microscope, which is much better than the Robert Hooke. Then at that time, he has discovered the living cell. Robert Hooke has discovered the dead cell, but the Leeuwenhoek was a scientist. He has discovered the living cell. Means he has seen the living cell for the first time. After that, different scientists came and they have given their different discoveries. Out of that, Purkinje, who has discovered the new parts of the cell. So total everything inside this boundary, whatever the thing is present, living thing is present, that is called as protoplasm. So that protoplasm discovery has given by Purkinje. Then Sheldon Shawn are the two scientists who has given these two cell theory. So these are the cell theories has been given by this two scientists. So this way, the slowly, different scientists came. They have prepared the different microscope. They have observed different cells, different parts of the cell inside the microscope from their microscopes, what they have prepared, and they have discovered the different things. So that different things we have to learn in this chapter. So what are the components of the cell? What is this made up of? What is the function of all those components? What they actually do? So everything we have to learn in this chapter. So Robert Hooke, he observed thin slices of a cork, a part bark of a tree. That means from the bark of the trunk, tree trunk, from that one part also if we taken out. So from that he has discovered under a microscope and saw honeycomb structures. The slices of cork appeared like small compartments which were further separated by a wall. Okay, so this is what he has discovered. Who has not written, write it down this part. Some people were still writing, so write down that part. Hey, 1 second. This one is not 1965, it is 1865. That's what I'm thinking. 1965, how is this possible? 1665. It's 1665.
Okay, ma'am.
This is not 19.
Ma'am, I didn't understand the last line, which were further separated by a wall.
So different compartments are separated by a wall. So these are the different compartments. Different rooms of our house are separated by
Walls.
different rooms are separated by what?
Walls.
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 So therefore
Doors,
here
walls.
also everything present inside the cell is separated from the different parts of the cell by this walls that we call a cell membrane. Clear?
Ma'am,
Yes?
can you repeat who just made the cell theory?
Cell theory, Sheldon and Sean. I will give you this one. Sheldon and Sean. 1 second. I will give you the full structure of that. Leeuwenhoek. Write down this. So 1665, Robert Hooke discovered cell. Then after that, this is a Leeuwenhoek, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, microorganism who has discovered the same thing. He has observed a living thing, living cell. He has seen the dead cell. He has seen the first living cell. 1883, Robert Brown discovered nucleus. 1835, Felix Jordan discovered fluid content of the cell. Inside the cell, there is some fluid is present. That is in 1835 it was discovered. 1838, Sheldon, Matthias Sheldon proposed all plants are made up of cells. Purkinje named the fluid component of the cell as protoplasm. Purkinje was a scientist, he has given the name protoplasm. This was a cell, discovery of a cell. Then 1845, 1839, Shawn. This is Sheldon, and he is a Shawn. 38 and 39, proposed all animals are also made up of cells. 1845, Carl Heinrich Brown proposed cell is the basic unit of life. So every living things is made up of cell that he has given in 1845.
And we
And
have
it,
to write everything.
yes, everything you have to write down. The names of the scientists and what they have done, what part they have given. Then the proposed Virchow proposed all cells arise from pre-existing cells. Done?
No, mom.
No, ma'am.
This is a basic of biology you need to know.
Yes, mom.
Yes, ma'am.
Completed everyone?
No, ma'am.
So cell discovery started with this one, and that cell discovery actually started with the microscope. discoveries. So when microscope came into existence, these people have first discovered the microscope, and under the microscope they have seen all these things. So there are different types of microscopes are present: compound microscope, electronic microscope, ultra microscope. So when we see the microscopes, they have the more magnification power. So when we see more magnifying, any object is magnifying more times, we can see the very smaller substance also. So this is the way they have discovered the cells. Okay. So now the cells, about the cell. Cell are of different types. So here cell we can divide variations in cell number, shape and sizes. So cell numbers. So some organisms are made up of only one cell. Their cells are divided into different types by depending on the cell numbers. Some living organisms are only made up of single cell. The full organism consists of only one cell. So those organisms we call as unicellular organisms. Uni means one, cellular means cell. So if any organism is made up of only one cell, then that organism we call as unicellular organism. And that is examples of unicellular organism is amoeba, paramecium, euglena, yeast. These are all single cell. Bacteria. So these are
Ma'am, what
single
about
celled
egg?
organisms. What?
What about egg?
Egg is also a single cell. But egg can't live alone. So does it have a single existence? Will it stay? Will it live? Is it a living organism we are considering? The full organism which can have all the life process it can perform. Is it egg is doing that?
No, ma'am.
No. So therefore organism, egg is a one cell, but we can't consider egg as a one organism. Okay, it's clear now.
Yes, ma'am.
Then multicellular, multi means many, cellular means cell. The organisms which are made up of many cells, then those are called as multicellular organisms. Just like one single tip of our hand also if we take, one this upper part also if we take it. So it is made up of millions of cells. In this much part only, one single pill, if you scratch and something is removed. So suppose near the nail, you have some dead cells. So if you remove them, you can easily remove them. If you remove them, on that also you can see it is consist of millions of cells, millions of cells. Okay, so that means our body is made up of many types of trillion cells. Yes, someone has raised hand. Yes, Monita, Pragya, anyone?
Mom,
Yeah,
in
Pragya.
the picture you showed, the Rudolf Virchow, like it said in 1855, he purposed all the arise cell. Wait.
Yeah, Virchow's second cell theory is given by him.
Okay.
Yeah, first cell theory is given by Sheldon Shawn. They have told that is every living organism is made up of cell. That is animals and plant cells are made up of cell. And the second theory, that is every organism is made up of, it's every cell arise from the pre-existing one, is the second cell theory given by Virchow.
Okay, mom.
Yeah, Monita? Yes, Monita? Not getting your voice?
Ma'am, I was asking what is the meaning
What? Couldn't get? What is?
Ma'am, what is Euglena?
Euglena is one of the organism we have learned in Euglena. Euglena is one organism, small single-celled organism. Here it is. This is Euglena. It is under microscope. It looks like this much. It is not this much big. These are all under microscope. This is Euglena, has a green, and it is autotrophic protozoa. It is autotrophic. It can prepare its own food, and protozoa it is. Paramecium, single-celled, sleeper-shaped structure. It is a paramecium. This is yeast cell. These are all yeast cell. These are the buds over the yeast. Clear? So these are all single cell unicellular organisms. Okay. Fine. So unicellular or multicellular, that means unicellular means the organism, the full organism perform all the living things, all living processes it will perform, respiration, just like a respiration, transportation, digestion, everything is performed inside a one single cell. That means it has a single existence. It can live on this. It is alive. It is performing all the things, all the processes which are necessary for the life. All these are performed by a single cell. Then those we call as organisms, and that we call as, the particular name is given to them, that is unicellular organisms. Is that clear? And the multicellular organisms,
Yes.
that means the full body is made up of millions of cells. The full structure is made up of millions of cells. Just like you can see the plants, the animals, fungus, all these are made up of many cells. So therefore we call them as multicellular organisms. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So write down this. Yeah.
Viruses comes under which category? Unicellular or multicellular?
Unicellular. No, it depends on the structures, but it is single cell. Outside the cell, actually it is in the boundary, that's we have seen. It is under the boundary of living and non-living. When it is inside the cell, it's actually, we can't consider as a cellular things because it don't have its own cellular apparatus. So whatever the cellular things we are learning right now, they do not have their own things. They are attaching their body into our cells and living accordingly. So we are not considering them as a cellular aperture because they can't, inside the cell also, if they can't attach, inside the body also, if they can't attach their body to our cell, they can't survive.
Okay, ma'am.
So we are not considering that as a unicellular or multicellular because they do not have their own structures. Yes?
Ma'am, all the cells are of different sizes.
Yes, every shell of different size. So according to number of cells, the organisms are divided into unicellular and multicellular. Do you know any deleted portions for your school? They have told you? Have they reduced anything?
They didn't tell you.
Ma'am, they didn't tell till now.
Till now they have not told. Okay. Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am. 1 second.
Then according to shape and sizes, we can see the variations in the cell depending on their shape. So some organisms are very small, very, very, very small, and some are very big. We can see with our naked eyes also. We don't need any microscope to see those cells. Do you know any of them? We don't need microscope. We don't need any microscope to see them. Do you know?
Yeast.
Yeast we can, no, we can't see and without microscope.
If they are in large amount, then only we can see.
Yeah, they are combined together forming this granule-like structure.
Skin?
Which one?
Skin?
Skin is multiple cells. It is tissue. Skin is a tissue, not cells.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, ostrich egg.
Ostrich egg, any egg. Even the hen egg also. It is a single celled that we can see with our eyes. Right?
Outer part of the egg is supposed to be made up of cells.
That is calcareous covering. That is tough coating. There's a coating over the body.
Mom, ostrich egg is largest one, like
Largest.
one celled organism.
It is a cell, only single cell. Inside that only when we see it is not anything, only single cell it is present. Yes.
No, ma'am. How can we see the cell in the egg?
Egg is a cell. Inside the egg we don't see it. Egg is a
Whole thing
cell.
is a cell.
Whole thing is one cell. Clear? Multicellular, then cell shapes. Shapes of the cell differ from actually organism to organism they won't differ. Inside the organism, two different organisms, the cells are same. Depending on their functions, their size, shape are different. Don't consider that is a ant is small and the elephant is big. So there the cell of elephants are larger than the cell of ant. No, it's not like that. The cell present in the ant and the cell present in the elephants are same, and size is also same. Only thing, number of cells in elephants are much more as compared to number of cells in the ant. That is the only difference. Clear? Are you able to understand this point?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is a 1 mark question is there.
Yes,
Is the elephant is a very big organism, then can you consider elephant has the cells of elephants are much bigger or larger as compared to the cells of ants? No. Ant cells, our cells, human being cells, elephant cells, giraffe cells, all are same. Size is also same, shape is also same. Only what is the difference? The number of cells. The ant cell are less number, more than that in any other cat cells, more than that in elephant cells, human cells, then elephant cells, then giraffe we can consider. So the number of cells differ, the size of the cell won't differ. And every cell's function is also the same. Every cell, whatever the performing function, that is same. There are different types of cells are there, so we have to learn them differently. There, according to, basically all cells are same, but depending on some of there is special type of cells are present, which has given the different shape. They have been given a different shape because they have to perform a particular function. That one particular function they have to perform. To make it easy to perform that function, they have given the different shapes. So different shapes also we have to see.
Mom,
Yeah.
the size may vary.
Size, it depends on the cell. Now particular type of a cell is there. Suppose we can consider muscle cells in our body and the muscle cells in elephants. Both are same. They are same in size.
Ma'am, but the muscle cells and
But the muscle cells and
what are
to
different.
consider, yes. Muscle cells of?
No, ma'am, the muscle cells of our body only and another organ
Other muscles,
in our
other
body
what?
only. Different, ma'am. The shape.
This depends on which type
Another
of a muscle
organ
cell. No,
in our
they are
body.
same. They are same. All muscle cells are similar to each other.
Like
Inside our body, inside any other animal.
like large intestine and the
No, they are
stomach.
same. All are same. There are types of muscle
shape
cells
also?
different. Yes, they are same. There are 3 types of muscle cells are there. So whatever the muscle cell, one particular type of a muscle cell is present in all 3 places, all are same. There are 3 types of muscle cells are present. One is smooth muscle, another one is striated muscles, and the third one is cardiac muscles. So wherever the smooth muscles are present, whichever the organ the smooth muscles are present, all of them have the same shape and same size. Wherever the striated muscles are present, they're present in the hand, they're present in the legs, all are same. They're not different. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. So
And the
all
same
the
striated
cells in our
muscles.
body are same shape.
No, which type of a cell? There are many different types of a cells are there. So one type of a cell is same in all the organisms, and inside the one organism also, if they are present at different positions, they are same. They are present in the different organisms, those are also same. Okay, but muscle cells and suppose if we consider RBC, red blood cells, these are different because RBC has to perform the different function, muscle cell has to perform the different functions. So their structures, their shapes are different because they have to perform different function. Clear? Are you able to understand this? Different types of a cells are have the different shape, different size, but that particular shape is present same throughout the body or in the different organism. That shape is same. RBC, RBC in our body, in our blood, RBC in elephant blood, RBC in ant blood, RBC if it is present in any of the organism, lion, tiger, any of the organism, cow, all are same. Size, shape is same. Clear? But they are different from muscle cells. They are different from WBCs, white blood cells. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So the shape of the cell differ not only in different organisms but also in different organs of same organisms. Shape may be oval, spherical, cuboidal, fiber or polygonal shapes. Different shapes are there. Shapes may be oval shaped structures are there. Some are spherical, circular shape. Some are cuboidal. Just now onion peel cell I have told you. Fiber like, the muscle cells are fiber like, thread like structures. Some are polygonal, different shaped, hexagonal structure, pentagonal structures are also possible. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I
Yeah,
have a
sure.
microscope. Can I show?
Yeah. Oh, wow, nice. One second. I will stop sharing so
Ma'am,
everyone can, yes, one second. Everyone can see.
ma'am, it can't zoom too much, but we can see many things from it.
Many things. Still what
Yes,
things you
ma'am.
can see it?
Ma'am, like I've tested on like clothes, ma'am. We can see small fibers.
Fibers of this one you can see.
Yes, ma'am.
Good, good. It's really good. It's actually much more interesting to see all the things. I think so. You can see the some of the this will also organisms are our body. Is that much?
No, I don't think that is possible.
Insects, not organisms. Insects, small insects.
Ma'am, I think I didn't try with insects.
Yeah, with small insect, if you check out the mites, you can check out if you have a plant. The
Okay, ma'am.
mites inside the structure of mites you can see easily.
Ma'am, I'll check, ma'am.
Yeah, fine. Shape of the cell we are discussing about. So you can see the different shapes. These are RBCs, red blood cells in humans. In humans, inside the blood, there are red color of the blood is due to presence of these RBCs. These are oval in shape, biconcave oval shaped structures. So RBCs are circular, biconcave for easy passage through the human capillaries. They can easily pass through the human capillaries. You can see the structure. How are they? They have been the just like a donut shape. These are the RBCs. Now this is a nerve cell. See the nerve cell, how it is. This is inner one is all the cellular apparatus is present in this, and these are been the spread out net-like structure, so they can easily spread out in different parts of our body. So they can, their main function, because their main function is to gather the information from the outside and transmit it to the brain. So they are very large in size. Their size is very large. There, suppose one of the some nerve cells in our body are about 1 meter long also. They are 1 meter long as well. Are you able to understand? Because of their function, that shape is given because of their function, because they have to transport something. What is that something? That is the information they have to transfer from one place to other place. Just like if anyone pinches you, what happens? If you touch any hot substance, what happens?
Response to
Influence.
stimuli.
Move a hand.
You immediately move your hand back if you touch. And now if you touch a laptop and you feel a shock there, what will happen? You immediately take your hand back. You won't think also, immediately you take your hand back. Within a fraction of a second, when you touch it, you will get here the nerve cells are present. Those gather that information and transmit it to the brain or a spinal cord, and spinal cord gives the information back to the nerves, and nerve will tell the hand to pull it back. So this process has been done so quick, so fast, that is when you immediately touch, you move your hand back. You don't think also. So this much faster the information has to be transferred. So therefore their size should be longer. They should be longer in size. Clear?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
you said that the nerves are 1 meter long. If a person
Some of the nerves, not all nerves. Some of the nerves.
it's in everyone.
Yeah, it's possible. Adults,
Okay. So
they have been twisted.
if a person is not like 1 meter, so
Then also, 1 meter. It is 1 meter means what? 3 feet, 3 to 4 feet high. The people are more than 1 meter height.
yes, ma'am.
Generally, adult people, whoever the height. Now you also are more than 1 meter height. Your height is also now more than 1 meter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So whoever has the height above 3 feet, all are more than 1 meter. So their nerve cells can move from brain to that toe. It is more than 1 meter distance. Some of the nerve cells are there more than 1 meter distance, 1 meter in length.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. And then this is white blood cell. The lower one is white blood cells. They do not carry, they are not red, so therefore they are given white. That doesn't mean that they are white in color. They are given white because they are not colored. So these are the white blood cells. You can see, and these are the soldiers of our body. We
Ma'am,
are
but in
healthy
skin,
because of WBCs. Yes.
ma'am, the skin is made up of so many cells like tissue, no, ma'am. But it has a
Yeah, it is
color,
tissue.
right?
It is, yeah, because of the one pigment, melanin. Due to one pigment, they have the color.
Okay.
Whichever are more in color, they have dark skin. Whichever have that melanin is less, they have the white skin, fair skin. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So here, shape of the cells vary in shape. Variations depends mainly upon the function of the cells. Some cells like euglena and amoeba can change their shape. Amoeba can easily change its shape. It is a spider-like structure. It can easily change its shape because it is irregular shaped, depending on where it wants to move. Because by changing shape only it can swim through the water. It's a aquatic organism. So by changing the shape only it can move here and there in the water, swim over the water. But most cells have fixed shapes. These are fixed shapes. So these are the some examples of the shapes. These shapes are given to the particular cell depending on their function, completely dependent on their function. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So write down the shape of the cells. First write these 3 points and then write down this.
Ma'am, you should write the nerve cells that
Yes, this
column
one also, human RBCs, nerve cells, human WBCs. You have tried that?
Ma'am, the RBC ones are not seen.
Not seen. Can you see now?
Ma'am, can you go a bit more up?
Here it is written, human RBCs are circular.
Ma'am, it's not visible.
Others?
Yes, ma'am.
It is not visible.
Not visible
Ma'am,
to you.
like from the shape, we can see only the heading cells. Like from there, it got cut. And we can just see the half drawing of the RBC. Yes, ma'am.
Now, are you able to see?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Nothing. How is it possible?
Ma'am, you can scroll it up. Then we can see
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
Here, now?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, and we can't see your cursor also.
What is this happening? I will check it. Now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, mom.
Now you are able to see?
Yes, mom.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we have to see the. Yes, ma'am.
Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Size of the cell. Size of the cell is also different. Different cells have different size depending on the function it has to perform. So they vary in size. Some are very microscopic. We have to see under microscope, and some of them can be seen without microscope, which are very big in size. So you can see these are mycoplasma. This is the smallest cell of 0.1 micrometer. 1 micrometer means How much is 1 micrometer? Take a 1 meter scale. So 1 meter scale, it is a big, in a shop, cloth shop, it is always kept. So 1 meter, divide into 1,000 part. Divide that 1 meter scale into 1,000 parts. And again that each part is 1,000th part if you do. That means 1 meter scales is 1 millionth part if you find out. Then that one part is called as micrometer. So it is very, very, very small. So 0.1 micrometer is the size of the smallest cell, whose name is mycoplasma. And the largest cell is the ostrich egg, which is 18 centimeter in size. The size is 18 centimeter, which is the biggest one, largest one. Then there are different, depending on the different functions. The longest cell,
Ma'am, size is nothing but from the top to down.
yeah, diameter we can consider it as.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then depending on the functions, they have the different sizes. In humans, the longest cell, nerve cell, is the longest one. Smallest one is the sperm cell. You can see. This is in humans, the smallest cell is a sperm, which is 5 micrometer. The large size cell is the ovum, eggshell, in the female. Sperms are in male, this is in female, which is the largest. And longest is nerve cell, which is can be of 1 meter also. The length can be of 1 meter as well. So longest cell is a nerve cell, largest cell is ovum cell. Inside our body we are considering, and the smallest one is a sperm cell. And inside all the organisms we consider, then it is a mycoplasma is the smallest cell, and the largest cell is 18 centimeter. Ostrich egg. Clear? So
Yes, ma'am.
write down these 3 points and then you can leave. Sizes of cells. Cells vary in size. Most cells are very small, microscopic. Some may be very large, macroscopic. Microscopic and macroscopic. Micro means very small. Macro means large. Unit used to measure size of the cell is micrometer. So 1 micrometer is 1 by 1000 millimeter. And is 1 by 1 million. That much meters.
Ma'am, there's something to measure the large cells also, like macroscopic.
Yeah, but that is much more enough.
But
Now,
we
why we are
can,
using in micrometers? We will use it in centimeters, millimeters.
yes, ma'am.
The larger units. The smaller units, we generally use micrometers. Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, should we write the size of cells in humans?
Yeah, yes, right. The smallest, largest, and longest.
Okay, ma'am.
And after this, you can leave.
Ma'am, 1 meter equals 1 by 1000 millimeter.
1 micrometer. This is 1 micrometer.
Yes, ma'am.
If completed, you can leave.